Greet Their Excellency, the federal government of the Imperium of Demons. The message for all parliamentary political parties of African continent. King Gottwald Peter Idis, 13 July 2019. The message for all parliamentary political parties of African continent. Greet the excellent representatives of the parliaments of African states and African parliamentary political parties. I, King Gottwald Peter Idis, represent new idea for African continental progress. From to the countries of third and the second worlds, new progress is open be developing in the power of the most developed nations of our time of early 21st century, be a process of the continental unification between the nations, and therefore I want support and promote a new way for unity of all African parliamentary leaders of democracy, nationalism, liberalism, communism, theocracy, socialism, all parties of the great Africa who are one to unite together and building one continental nation. I, King Gottwald Peter Idis, the head of the state and the government of the Idis Federation, the government which open here to representative country, Idis Demon Oasis, Northeast Africa Bertabil, the new and true state under European neo-colonization at all time today in the 21st century. And my idea is to represent the vision of the one world, a new age of the humanity where all people together united and build common policy of the one united government where all nations stand together and connect their civilizations in the power of the one prosperity. The Imperium of Demons federal government, name originated the date of the 1998 year, the Diamond Imperium, alternative relative for the heritage of the African diamond industries as the most advanced diamond area in the whole world. I am glad, friendly, and for a good diplomacy associated in the Pan-African policies and together recognize a process of a peaceful partnership in the African continental level, because our friendship build prosperity for the whole of Africa and protect our nations against disputes, conflicts, or wars in the battle. This government have an establishment of open legality as the government of country which own territorial sovereignty, de jure, protected by the Charter of the United Nations, United Nations General Assembly, and international interests of states united in the practice of the world order and global political community united after World War II and historical days of the colonialism across the continents. Our diplomacy believe in the one world, unity between the nations, or one federal unification between every state in the world during the peaceful process of friendly diplomacy development, protection unity of the nations and people's self-determination before the governmental arguments, and mainly in such a purpose is established the Imperium of Demons government. Our vision is to establish partnership with our African parliamentary parties for common behavior of the Pan-African continental progress, which give us great opportunity and success, new way of the nations, and easy opportunity for progress by all mutual power of the parliamentary actions. In the successful effectivity and establishment of African Union, the African continent rise in the prosperity, security, and well-being of the peaceful nations, which greatest strength on the level of the world diplomacy where the African Union is diplomatically respected as one of the world's largest superpowers. The African Union is an important body, always celebrated, and we are one good African Union in prosperity together. The African people have often good belief in the friendship and successful emotions which welcome good friends, relation and progress for every nation. The vision in the unity between the states is a natural factor of society between the many of the African nations, and therefore I trust for success of the idea of the unity, because all African people have a right for the pride of the new continental level where their government has a much powerful position and which multiple advanced prosperity for all African nations. Their leaders, excellent representatives of the African political parties, I am interested to support development of your political progress and strength with building new partnership of your parties under the purpose of a Pan-African Continental Parliamentary Union as associated parliamentary diplomacy for common behavior of the Pan-African progress for common national unity, and I am very interested to build new way of the vision for whole Africa. I am inviting your parties to unite in the new strength, which expand your powers of the parliamentary party between sides of the opposition, and we increase in new ways for active candidacy, power agent bureaucracy with corruption. Always, your leaders obtain better support from all your nations because a vision, the one world, has opened only for a way of prosperity and success of every people. In the case when we are together associated in the conferencing, we establish new summits and open messenger communication between officers of the parties. We are has made the coalition which can have registered open address and provisory centers, where therefore we are can start building our mutual trades, new continental business networks for all our people, new security forces for defense of all African states. We are can build the diplomacy community which have open power and multinational matrix organization, and therefore ability of the successful establishment in the process of diplomacy primacy between all opposition candidates of the policies. Our fight is process of the peaceful diplomacy, and our interest is united all states of Africa as one continental nation. The one continental nation is immediately on level of superpower in all today world, and the geography is rapidly changed. People obtain free move because the territories lose borders, and the whole continent is your open country. The economy is united, and in mutual capacity the operations of the development has a greater profit in the increment which immediately give for all states new civilization level on most advanced powers. We are can immediately administrate all continental energetic centers and mines under one national trade, and therefore immediately we are have open to board the continental sides of the roads connected between every regional cities, railways, water roads and canals. One airline system, all people and trades is permanently united, and their liability increases. The security of Africa rises on most highest level of the power in the world because our military forces can contain over 80 million soldiers, with the continental military infrastructure developed for high mobility and stronger defense. Together, we are is one of most powerful nations in the world, and in the world we are having advanced risk of enemies. The economy rises up faster than per time of 100 years, and immediately we have ability to use the best quality of the sources centralized from all the continent, the best traits and the qualities, which we therefore expand over whole continental country and build new African civilization. Today, Africa have 800 million of active citizens, and therefore our economy can be grown into the level of 800 trillion euro on annual stocks by the European mathematics system. Higher economy than the planet Earth. In effectivity, no one African nation need live in the poor, which risk on hunger and famine, not lack of medical sources or education crisis. Also, the economic migration has a permanent end. The one continental nation is a subject administered by one government, consolidated from all governments in today Africa, and immediately we are standing equal diplomacy level in respect as the China People Republic, India Republic, multiple higher than European Union, United States of America, other great states of the world. Together, in one unity, we are have a stronger source, intelligence, security, strategical development ability, and diplomacy power which ability of the global influence, because for all people of the world is always important to stand together, which us in one diplomacy friendship, good commons and alliances. Today the states stand only in the Union which have established common borders, different jurisdictions which blockade fast development, internal states having the connection with oceans, and water sources also absolutely good. In the level of the security, the truth is between regions, and technology development is mainly under dependency of the foreign distributors. In our one united power, we immediately can start skyscraper cities development, continental trade networks under one currency, transport by high-speed trains, and airlines which connect us from south to north in time of tens of minutes, and our energetic administration can sponsor growth equal in each region. I am glad for your good belief, and I am trust in world African continental parliamentary level is not a competition for division of the one world, where therefore can also start unification of all states over the world, Latin America, Caribbean Sea, Papua New Guinea. Also in the United States of America is a great majority of the black people who are welcome your parliamentary support and development unity between our nations. Asia, Europe, America, Australia. Our unity is available both everywhere over the world, and this is a very great success for all of our nations, which ability on the great change in the world global geopolitical level, because our one national unity can expand the power of the United Nations organization, which will be therefore incorporated as our own department institution of the government. New development of the Africa is open to you, and our unity heaven wrong, because we are together as those who are about new future only in the success and the prosperity. We stand in the position where we never denied the right of the interests of people, but we are only strange the nations and open their new liberties, freedoms, success and opportunities of the people's lives. In the first days of the parliamentary development between all African parliamentary parties, we can unite as the coalition of the one world, which can start building our own network of the organization, which have our own economy, our own associated people, global diplomacy, private centers, advanced network of the controlling institutions, our own currency, hospitals, universities, also the private space missions for the observation of other planets in the universe. Today, my country is only desert of the sun, with a minimal source of the water and only fake natural trees, with mountains from 10 to 600 meters. Life in our country is not actual, but our members of the coalition have a right to connect us and entry into the country under ED's governmental statute, and we can centralize the Pan-African traders, business companies for establishment of new civilized center of the coalition. In vision of the unity, we always welcome. The